What's up, everybody, and welcome into the 24/7 Sports channel. I'm your host today, Adam Finkelstein, the 24/7 Sports basketball director of scouting, and we have yet another exciting commitment on tap for you here today. Is Kai Rogers, one of the best big men in the entire country, and in my opinion, probably the best big man in the Under Armour Association this summer, is set to come off the board. He is spending his senior season at Overtime Elite in Georgia, but he is back in Wisconsin to make this announcement. Take a look at his profile there. 6'10", 240 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan. So this guy is long, he's strong, and he is in the best shape of his career. Let's take a look at his finalists as this recruitment has come down to these three schools. Iowa State, Oklahoma, and SMU remain in contention for Kai Rogers. So without further ado, we are going to go out to the state of Wisconsin and bring Kai into the broadcast. Kai, what's up? Welcome to the show.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm great, thanks. Now, Kai, a couple weeks ago, you and I sat down at the OTE Combine. We had a great talk, but you are not in Atlanta anymore. Tell us where you are on your commitment day.
I'm at Wauwatosa West High School. It's the high school I went to for 3 years before moving to Overtime in Atlanta. And I just want to bring it back here because I appreciate everyone that helped me get to where I am.
All right, very cool. You headed back home to make this special announcement. Kai, why did you decide to do that? I mean, you traveled back to Wisconsin. Obviously, this must mean a great deal for you if you had to make sure you were in your old high school gym to have this special moment.
Yeah, so, the past 3 years have meant the most of my basketball career. So now these past 3 years being at Tosa West, I wouldn't have been able to commit to the school I'm going to commit to. And, having my family here, coaches here, teammates here, it was really important to me for them to be at this moment.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Very cool indeed. Now, you mentioned the last 3 years. The last 3 years have been a bit of a process. We've seen your game grow and evolve. We've seen you start to extend your game away from the basket. We've seen your conditioning improve exponentially. Tell me about all the hard work that has gone in to get you to this point.
It was a lot of hard work, especially year one. Starting, I was about 280 pounds, so I cut back to 220. So that was a lot of hard work, a lot of conditioning, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So, that's where it comes. The work off the court and the work that's by yourself. That was the biggest part of these last 3 years.
And that's talking about almost losing 60 pounds. But as we discussed a couple weeks ago, you've now begun the process of putting muscle mass back on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Tell me where your focus is these days.
Yeah. So now in these past couple of months, I've been, trying to get my weight up, put some more muscle on. I was 220 at the beginning of the summer. Now I'm 250. So I put on about 30 pounds. That's where I want to be.
And that is not an easy thing to do, to change your body to the extent that you have. So congratulations on putting in all that hard work, and the benefits are evident to anyone who sees you. Kai, before we get to this big moment, I want to give you a chance to thank anyone. Obviously, there's a number of people who must have made an impression on you if you decided to go all the way back home to make this announcement. So the floor is yours to recognize anyone you would like before your big moment.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Coach Dubauer. He helped me a lot. He's done a lot for me. Coach D-Rob, where are you? I don't know where he's at, but Coach D-Rob, he was a mentor for me. So he's been there a lot for me. And then my mom, can you come up here? Oh, my mom in the camera. It's my mom, Ashley. She sacrificed a lot for me to be here. So it wouldn't be like this if it weren't for her.
All right. That is very cool indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, Kai, you have put in the hard work. You have earned this special moment. So take your time and let everyone know where you're going to be playing your college basketball.
Overthinking this past month, really settled down with the coaching staff here and all the players, and I feel really comfortable that I'll be committing to the University of Oklahoma.
All right, Kai Rogers is headed to Oklahoma.
What's your news?
Now, Kai, you tell me if I'm saying this right. Is it Boomer Sooner? Is that how we say it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Boomer Sooner. Now, let me ask you this. What was it about Coach Moser and that program that made you decide that was the place for you?
Man, Coach Moser, he just tells you how it is. So as a coach that I need, I don't want him to sugarcoat anything. I want him to give it to me straight. And that's what he did from day one. He told me the stuff I needed to work on, the stuff I was good at, and how I'd fit in their system. And, he really has a plan for me and how I can fit into that team. And I'm really comfortable there. So,
And Kai, what would you tell those Sooner fans who are watching this, who are just starting to learn about you as a player? What would you tell them they're getting in Kai Rogers?
They're getting excitement. So I'm going to bring excitement on the defensive end. I'm going to bring those big dunks. I'm going to bring that energy to the bench. So excitement is what I'm going to bring.
And you know what, Kai, if you don't mind, I'm going to add this. They're also getting a well-rounded young man. It's so obvious watching you here today how important your loved ones are and how serious you take your relationships. I would also really encourage people to go back and watch our interview from last month where we talked about some of your interests off the floor. Yeah. You're a well-rounded young man. You've put in all the hard work, and you deserve this moment. We want to thank you for sharing it here with us at 24/7 Sports. But now it's time to go celebrate with your mom, your coaches, and your teammates, all right?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That is Kai Rogers. He is off the board to Oklahoma. And as we said, this is a major physical presence in the lane. You talked about him putting in the hard work to change his body, going from 280 down to 220, and then adding 30 pounds of muscle mass to be at his current playing weight of 250, totally changing his frame. This is a guy who also has a 7'3" wingspan. So brings a level of physicality that Oklahoma is really looking for along the front line. Now, the front line was the top priority for the Sooners going into this class because they're losing both their starting 4 and 5 men, as well as their first big off the bench. They got their first big man earlier. Well, I should say not earlier this summer, but last month. And now Kai Rogers joins the mix. They also have Alec Blair committed. 3 different prospects committed in the top 24/7 rankings. Terrific class to date for the Sooners. You can find much more on this over at 247sports.com. Find the commitment story from Travis Branham as well as my analysis, 247sports.com, and keep it locked right here to the 24/7 Sports channel as we have a number of announcements coming up next week.